Welcome to That Comic Smell podcast. With your hosts,
David Robertson,
Fernando Pons,
Giuseppe Labertino,
Mike Sadakat,
and Tom Stewart.
Look at this for a luxury room, eh? You alright?
Oh, wow.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good, yeah.
Good to see you.
Nice feature wall.
I think
Nice.
Mum wants to change it.
How's it going?
Lads, you better open your bellies.
Oh my lord.
What's this in here?
I made
a
something
cake.
to
Oh,
commemorate Break the Cake.
you didn't go. Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me.
State of that.
Oh, that's really nice of you.
Well, there you make cake here. Like that all the time.
Beautiful.
I've got a recipe that I can go to. So.
That's amazing.
And is that a cake you can eat as well?
Yes, it is indeed.
Thank God for that.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's
You got to
amazing.
take a foot. Yeah, you got to take a foot here. That one, yeah.
Yeah.
I've already got my
Is it a cake I can eat?
It's a cake everybody can eat.
What's it
Why?
got in it?
What can't you eat?
Fruits.
Oh, there's no fruit.
Like raisins and something.
No, it's
Oh,
only
can't you eat
it's
that?
only
Are you
got jam.
allergic to them or you
No,
don't
I
like
just can't stand them.
Oh,
It's only got
really?
jam. I don't.
Oh,
I love
jam's
that.
good.
So you
No,
don't like
jam's
mi-
good.
You don't like mince pies and scones and
Wow.
stuff?
Red scones that are plain.
First slice goes to the Monsieur.
Scones.
Wow.
Break the cake. I would just.
I was tempted to bring in a hammer.
Boom.
I was tempted to
Yeah,
bring in a
but
No,
hammer.
not for me. I don't want to go
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Are you sure?
No, yeah,
Doing
absolutely.
the
Yeah, yeah.
cake now.
With the popcorn, I'm fine.
What's it commemorating?
Thank you.
What's it commemorating?
The new book.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brit.
yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Got a cake.
I've got some unusual pictures, I think. Some of you moved
Can't
at
believe you
awkward
made a
moments.
Frederick Comics cake.
There you
Have
go.
you ever had that?
No.
That's
I've never
amazing,
even imagined that.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's fucking amazing,
I'm
isn't
going
it?
right across his face.
Go for it, mate.
Sorry, Fred.
It's nice.
Frederick's been good to me.
Just shove that mouse out of the way.
That's good. Nice tasty cake.
Did any of you guys hear? This was like a couple of years ago. I heard about this. Did you guys know that Dundee City Council has a strategic plan in place for alien invasion and zombie apocalypse and giant monster coming into the?
Swinging about.
I knew about the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, all the
But
other
I
ones
know about
kind
the
of
rest.
fit. All the other ones fit into the same plan. It's in case of
the
sort of
panic.
unknown disaster happens. They've got to have an emergency backup plan. And somebody did a freedom of press thing, and they wrote into the council and said, "Do you have a plan in case zombies attack?" And the council had to write back and says, "Yes, we have a general plan that fits all of this."
So what? How do they count for half of the fucking dead planes?
I don't know what the actual plan is, but there
big
is
column.
Yeah, so if you wrote into them or phoned them up and said, "Do you have a plan for Godzilla?" They would have to say, "Yes, we do have a plan because we need
And Godzuki?
every emergency." Godzuki's not a threat unless he sets curtains on fire.
Could be if he's like that with kids. Come here.
Is it not just smoke when he tries to do it?
Aye, probably. But he probably plays with lighters as well, like most kids at the time.
That's ringing a bell though, Godzuki.
Yeah.
Cough. Smoke bubbles.
Talking about Stanley first, or we do
Yeah.
Asterix? Or...
Yeah. I think we best speak about Stanley first.
Get stand up.
Yeah. Then we can go into
Stand them up.
the hero of Gaul. Where do you start? Really?
Where do you start?
Like you said in your email, is what one of the first people you thought, what's he do for it? No.
Oh
You
yeah.
wondered what he did as a job.
He was the first famous person I
Yeah.
ever wondered about.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
That's
when I
a
was a
good way of
kid, I would
remembering.
think, I wonder what Stan Lee's doing right now. I
Yeah.
would think, you know. And he was the first famous person I'd thought that about.
And then he was already fucking 60.
Yeah.
You were thinking that.
I brought the Spider-Man annual from 1979 that I got for Christmas. And the reason I brought it is there's an article in here.
I love it when they did them colours.
And it's a 3-page bit on telling the kids about Stan Lee. And it really bums him up. In this, he's the genius, you know, and he made up everything. And he's terrific, you know. And this, I read this when I was, and this is what I thought of Stan Lee, you know. I wasn't until later any of the controversy or that came along. And I still remember this article. I'll let you have a look at it.
You mentioned that in the link
That's right.
to the website.
And also, it was very unusual to get an annual and it would go behind the scenes like that, you know.
Yeah, because traditionally
As light and fluffy as it is.
Yeah.
And it's just selling Stan the Man Lee, that character.
Yeah, they were quite, I think, forward thinking by doing that.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of mags doing that kind of thing with their own people, if you see what I mean.
It's quite funny. It's probably coming about because by this time he was out. You know, Marvel really was a 60s phenomenon, wasn't it? By the time it gets to the 70s, they're trying to keep it alive, you know?
Yeah.
And Stan's like gone and everything, and Kirby's gone, and everybody's gone, you know. And they're still trying to keep it going like it's the same thing. And that's when I would have started reading it.
Definitely, as you say, it's a phenomenon of the 60s.
Yeah, it is.
And Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Gil Kane and John Romita Jr. and Stan Lee's brother Larry Lieber and many other artists and writers that they did those comics in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they created this universe where all the superheroes they had a human side.
Yeah.
They were not perfect, and that was kind of the difference to the tradition of DC superheroes. And I think certainly that was the main thing. But I think Stan Lee also, the one thing that he was very clever was to introduce letters from the readers and have a kind of a certain kind of line of communication with the readership.
Yeah.
Okay, the Stan Socks box and the famous no prices and
That's right.
all that kind of thing there was, and the marching Marvel Society and all these kind of things and events that would just created a buzz with the readership, and suddenly the Marvel comics were the new comics, the new superheroes of that new generation in the 60s. Certainly Stan Lee, he was a big promoter of that for sure.
It's right, when you individually got a Marvel comic as a kid, you'd read it and there was all that stuff you just mentioned in it. And it was almost like Stan was telling you that Marvel comics were the greatest comics in the world. You know, this was just plainly obvious. And he was sort of congratulating you as the reader for having discovered this and having the good taste to be reading this, you know, sort of complimenting you. And remember they always said it was the distinguished competition and all that kind of thing, DC. So it was, you kind of hypnotised you.
Yeah.
I think there was a real thing as a kid or even teenager with Marvel comics that every single Marvel comic was worth reading, and you know the other ones you could take them or leave them. Maybe some of them were good, but they weren't the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
You know, it was a funny brainwashing thing that went on. Marvel zombies, as they used to talk about.
Yeah.
The Marvel zombies. I'm sure I
Marvel
was a
zombies.
Marvel zombie for a while. Yeah.
Oh, so
That's
was
what the
I
readership.
fans? That's what I would have technically been without realising it then.
The readers.
Oh, it's a Marvel zombie.
they called the readers the zombies. They wanted them to be Marvel zombies. You know.
Yeah. The Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
It was used especially in the 80s.
CCC's got a plan
Jump
for Marvel zombies.
That's where the
Are they still in that? Are they in that plan, Mike, as well?
Mm-hmm.
Are Marvel zombies in the council's general zombie plan? Do you think? Or
Send them
Well,
a quiz.
I would say yes.
That's a Kirkman
Story.
Marvel Zombies.
Yeah. It's a series.
Before he did Walking Dead, wasn't it?
Yeah. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
He did Marvel Zombies. That was huge.
I got a few of them.
90s, wasn't it?
That was
2000s.
wasn't it?
2000s.
The notice.
Early 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
notice.
I was listening to Jeremy Vine. It was on at work at lunchtime, and they were having their. I heard Jonathan Ross, talking,
Okay.
and I thought, and then I realised they were on about Marvel comics, and so Jonathan Ross is the kind of expert on comics, to get on the radio. So
Yeah, but at least it's somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Some
Sure.
arsehole on.
but then it went on to phone in if you love Marvel comics and all, if you love comics and blah blah. Anyway, I'm leading up to I was sitting there half listening to this, and then this guy came on, and he was like, "Oh, Stanley's a genius, and he meant so much to me, and he's done so much, and blah 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 blah." And then Jeremy at one point he went right, and he went, and he said, "Now the Incredible Hulk, is that the same character as the Hulk?" And the world kind of stopped for me at that point. And I thought, did I just hear that? I still don't quite know what to make of that question.
I'm puzzled by what. If it was was it a trick? What?
I can only think he was sitting going, I remember a 70s TV show, and there's a Hulk thing going about in Avengers films now, isn't there? Is that the same? And he must have just said it.
Yeah.
But, Stanley. Do you know, I brought a few Stanley things. I might as well dig them out.
Yeah.
There's been a lot
Okay.
of people speaking about him over the past couple of days, obviously, and
Yeah.
it's been good to hear. And,
Dave, just remind me of the controversy that came out after that. You said, "Oh, look at that, make yourself a sky here." Is it just to do with who created stuff? Generally?
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he did well to get himself cameos in all them films, didn't he? Though.
although it never,
He did-
almost never happened to start off with, because
Right.
his first ever one was X-Men, and at that time he was suing Marvel. So at the time he was asked to come along and cameo in the X-Men.
And the X-Men, yeah.
And he said no, because he said that there's a lot of bad blood and I don't want to be getting involved in that, and the lawsuits going on, blah blah blah. And they said, yeah, but totally different studios, because at that time it was Fox.
It was Fox, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was
Fox,
like, so you can come and work for us, no bother, and you don't have to get involved with Marvel in any way. It's just we just have to put in a Marvel title card at the start. And he didn't have a line in it either. He was just like an onlooker on the beach or something like that. And it was after that he started getting the one-liners and stuff like that. And obviously, ever since that first one, it was like, oh, bang, we need to get him in every single one of them. You know what I mean? And it was that other thing as well, that for the longest time, Fox had the main license for it, so they could get away with doing that.
Ah,
And
right.
then when Marvel acquired it back, the lawsuit was all done and dusted, so it was fine.
And
They
it
can get it
become
back
kind
in.
of a feature.
Yeah, and then it became a sort of like, well, come on, we've done it this first. Now,
But I don't know whether he means the same to say a 12-year-old boy now, Stanley. It's probably a name that it doesn't.
I think it's
he's
now.
they know him because he's in the films.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's now
And then
the
they've
guy
heard
from-
a sentence like,
yeah, but
he made it all up.
I think that them putting him in was a nod to our generation to appease us,
It was also
as opposed to.
It was
Yeah,
also to make him
also-
accessible to the younger generation.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
the one that ties it all together. He's the one that appears in every single one of the films.
Well, I've brought a few things.
Mm.
And Spider-Man, Stan Lee.
Final chapter.
This is the reprint, Steve Ditko, February 1985. So that would have been 84. I was reading that. That's the legendary, the final chapter. You know that, I'm sure. And then at the same time as that, there was this one. New Stan Lee Spidey script inside. This is from November 84.
Is that a British one?
This is a British.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
reprint.
reckon. I've got some of that kind of writing. Oh, yours is in a lot better condition. Than
Well,
mine.
that was just always, keeping them immaculate.
Nice.
But this was, I can remember the excitement of him saying Stan Lee is writing another new Spider-Man story coming up soon, you know. And I remember being excited because this was like the return of the
Yeah, he hadn't
the
written
genius.
since like 71 or something.
He was also
Yeah.
involved because of sorry to interrupt the stuff that I sometimes show a lad. He was involved with a lot of voices on the cartoons, wasn't
His
he?
wife
Marvel
was as well.
cartoons.
Yeah, so they brought him back, and there he is, Stan the Man. And then the last, maybe the best, Galactus trilogy. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby.
Yeah, thanks for getting me to get that.
Yeah, it's a goodie, isn't it?
The greatest magazine in the world, isn't it?
You know, Stan Lee, he did put a lot of that snappy patter in. You know, the characters were funny. And like the DC stuff before, those stories in a way they're more pure in a way. That it's just like, I'm Superman, there's an alien, I'll go and stop it.
Yeah.
He stops it. Thank you, Superman. See you next month for more. And you can really get into that, and it's pure. This was more like, it would be, what the hell's that? You know, when they looked at the alien, that's ridiculous. You know, they were throwing in self-awareness. Which could be good or bad, you know. But it seems like that hadn't really been done before. Not that that's the way the story goes anyway.
He's fitted a lot in.
Also, there were one thing that Stanley always, and with all the artists as well, they based everything in New York.
Yeah,
And San
real
Francisco, in Los Angeles,
places.
in real places.
Yeah.
And then the artists will get,
One of the
you know, they will look out the window of the offices or get photos or get books and
That's right.
do the scenes from there so the people could relate to.
Although to be
Well,
honest,
yeah,
New
place.
York could have been as real as
Well,
Gotham to me at that
yeah.
age. But yeah, definitely. That's true, isn't it?
Classic Jack Kirby leg. What the fuck is going on with that leg?
I don't know, but
Even on the that's
It looks
not,
powerful,
whatever it
though.
is, it just looks like it's melting.
yeah.
But
He
they
did the
fit
same
a
as
lot
me.
in these, didn't they? Without
was
adverts
great,
as well.
yeah.
It's like back to back.
Yeah.
There'll be sharks around all this property now, won't there?
Yeah.
There was lots of sharks. God, I was saddened when I read about that stuff. I didn't know about all that stuff until
Oh, yeah.
relatively
There's
recently.
been going on lots of things going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of think that if Stanley's wife had not passed away, Joan, and if there wasn't all this mess with some of his managers, he might have actually still been around, because it was sad reading some of the interviews where he just gave up. He even said that he wanted
kind
to,
of given up, hasn't
yeah.
he? Poor fella.
I think it was just Joan in general. She disappeared and that was it.
Yeah.
There was just no reason.
I think once his wife died, I mean,
So
it's never quite been the same. It's never the same.
Yeah.
I've read that one. Yeah. I've got that one.
The man,
It was
even in his 80s, you know, he was going to conventions and
Yep.
here and there, you know, everywhere, and with an incredible amount of energy for a man of that age.
Yeah.
But when his wife passed away, I mean, it really hit him very hard. Understandably so.
Oh yeah,
It was the love of his life, and you know, and
She gave voices in the Marvel cartoon series.
What did she?
Yeah, the one I remember the most was Madame Web in the
Yes.
1990s Spider-Man. And when I heard her voice, I thought it was Penelope Keith they got. She had a
Was it
strong
British?
strong voice. Yeah, she was an actress originally.
Penelope Keith.
She used to be in a lot of comedies in the 80s. She was on a TV series recently, going along the towns and the coast.
Yeah.
So she was good
I
at
can't
action.
remember.
She's a good actress.
No,
His wife.
His wife is a good actress.
What?
Good voice.
Right.
Strong voice.
very good-looking woman.
but good at doing different kinds.
Yeah.
Is that what
yeah,
she actually did for a living, or just so
Well,
much she was doing?
She was an
helped
actress when
out?
she met him, but I don't think she was really had to do. I don't think she would have had to have sought a profession after, because I think she was also kept quite busy with the stuff that Stan Lee was doing, because they were like I suppose they were like a double act really.
A
So
couple.
yeah.
Right.
As they
I
call
never realised there was that whole
Mm.
side to his business that his wife was
Yeah.
involved in.
And remember, it was, just 2 years ago, Stan Lee was in the One Show, and they said to him something like, "You're the most active 90-something-year-old we've ever had on the show," And that was like, I think it was a year or two before his wife passed away, and he was like really sort of springy and active and cheery.
Did you ever write a biography?
Oh, there must be. An
autobiography, yeah.
There must be,
There's been a few things.
Yeah.
There was that comic. That
There's
came
one
out,
made
like,
that's a comic, yeah.
like 4 years ago or something.
Mhm.
Like Spectacular Stan Lee or something like that. It's
I
got a
bet
thing.
That'd
be really interesting. It's
alright.
biography and that.
No, probably
Good
be-
to know what
probably
the
be further.
further
It's
back,
okay, yeah.
The thing is,
Good to know we got
There's
to
controversy.
that age
There's
with all
things.
that energy.
You never scratch the surface
Yeah.
with him. Stan.
Yeah.
He's always that character. I read his book, and the whole book is just. It's almost like he's talking on that one of those cartoons. Hi, Stanley here. Blah, 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 blah.
tingling.
Yeah.
It's
Stan,
just,
Stan Lee was the character. Stanley Lieber was the man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that Joan apparently used to always say in interviews. Was like nobody really knows him.
no, the
Like the man. She used to say the man is not a comics writer. He's a poet. He writes me endless poetry, and he looks after me and makes sure that.
Is that what she said?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a lovely thing.
He apparently used to write her poetry all the time.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
Yeah. So like it was, when they were together
no
and they were
idea
alone,
where
it
it
was totally different.
Just
It's
finish
nice
on the
thing
ones
to
that-
write for your
someone
loved
else.
ones in poetry, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know. That could read an endless amount of Dylan Thomas and I still get nowhere.
No, it's okay. I've got it.
Fine, thank
Looked
you.
at it
But
recently.
yeah, he was. His wife saw him as who he really was, and they were both. You could see it if you ever saw them on like sort of. But the rare occasions that you did kind of see them photographed together, he was still absolutely in love with her. And she was very much for him as well, but you could see it in his eyes more than anything. He had his You had his Stanley face that he gave everybody, where he's always just the usual smile and everything. But when he's with her, it was you could see that soft.
Yeah.
Like defences have dropped sort of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was sweet.
Very, very sweet.
Nice selection. Nice Stanleys.
It was sad.
Bullpen bulletins. Was that him? Bullpen bulletins.
Yeah. Well, the open was theoretically the place where all the artists and writers were working. And the Marvel offices doing the comics.
Oh, that was called
Allegedly,
Bullpen,
but
right?
that's not really the
Right.
case. Some were working there, but no, that was not the case because many of them they had their own studio or they had a studio elsewhere. But that was the kind of just to again, it was a way to relate
yeah.
the people who was making the comics and the Marvel comics with the readership. So there was a full circle. So the readership knew the characters and they knew these creators and artists and writers.
I can
as well,
remember
in a way.
reading about that and fantasising about working at that Marvel Comics bullpen that never existed, that he wrote it. And in the 80s they would still talk about it, like the Christmas parties, and they were saying like so some of the creators and the staff, and they were playing in the band and the Christmas party and all that. And I just thought
a whole Minecraft world that it created, which
I just
doesn't
want
actually exist, but
God,
other than the minds of kids reading it.
he must be the most famous man in comics and in Britain and America and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
They know of him in Japan as well. They have
all around
Marvel
the
shops in Japan. In the Middle East, he's hugely popular.
He was a one-man marketing machine.
But it's all to do with being that guy in the films, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least now.
My boss at work, he did, even he came up and went, "Oh, see that Marvel Comics guy died, eh?" And I thought, well, that's fame.
Yeah.
There's not many other comics writers that would die that hell off, and my boss at work would come up. Couldn't remember his name, but he knew something had happened.
He's been the most famous one.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that has got. He has exposed himself.
Yeah.
Through the media and different media, come across from that point of view.
We had some big ones go this year.
We've
Stan's been the one that's sent shockwaves, I think.
Steve Ditko
I was
passed
quite
away,
surprised about
this year,
Steve
wasn't it?
this
Ditko
year.
in July. It really
Yeah.
caught me. I thought,
I know.
and it kind of let me sort of
Yeah.
don't know what to say. But with Steve Ditko, I think because I've only read the stuff he did for Marvel and the old thing from DC, but I've never really gone anymore. I mean, he's not been a public person. He's been kind of away from the press and everything. With Stanley, you know Stanley was there, and it's kind of what you were saying in the email. Is that, well, the guy was immortal. We think it was never going to happen, but unfortunately, it has happened. Yeah. And you know that actually has hit me. Yeah. That Stanley has gone away just like that. It was.
It's a different world, it's a different world now, I feel.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, Stanley was always there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's different. I mean, yeah, you know, guys, that I'm a big Kirby fan. I always said Kirby should get the credit that he's never got. He should get that. But that's no against. I'm not gonna say anything against Stan Lee. He has complications. He wasn't perfect, and there was complicated things and controversies.
Like most
humans. But the question here is
business.
What he's left as a legacy, with the help of other guys, or other guys and him, or whatever you want to put it through. There's only been one Stan Lee, and he's gone now. Yeah. So that's the main thing. You know.
Big thanks to Stan.
Well, I felt compelled to write something about Stanley. And I was in two minds. So I put in the emails, so I sent it to you to put in the website.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to read it if it's okay with you guys. And then it's a wee bit of a thank you and to him. So that's okay. I'll read it. So, a few days ago, a man died. This man was not an ordinary man. He was the man. The man and other extraordinary men created a universe full of astonishing tales and amazing fantasy. A universe full of fantastic, uncanny, mighty, incredible characters. A universe full of clobbering time, smashing hulks, assembling Avengers, power and responsibility. A universe full of color, full of life, full of marvel. The man wanted to bring this universe to the people, to the masses. The man, as the ambassador of this universe, was always standing tall, always facing forward. The man was a superhero, your friendly neighborhood superhero. He didn't need a costume, a mask, or a cape. The man had powers. Words were his powers. With a smile on his face, Excelsior, he would say. The man was born Stanley Lieber. The man died Stanley Lee. From the universe he helped to create, we learn things about a teenage superhero, a family of adventurers, a misunderstood monster, a sorcerer supreme, an African king, Norse gods, outcasts mutants, a silver emissary from another galaxy, and a team of the greatest superheroes united. Many more came later. Thank you, Stanley, for everything you have done. My childhood would have been very different without you. Thanks to you, Steve Ditko, and Jack Kirby, we learned that doing the right thing was not always easy. Many times was difficult, sometimes near impossible, but the perseverance, the strength, the bravery against all odds were what made your superheroes so human. Rest in peace, Stanley. The world is a much darker place without you. You will be sorely missed. Nuff Said.
Well said. Nice.
Asterix.
Asterix.
Go on, might as well start. You got them there.
Asterix.
You're in the flow.
This is the one where I've noticed everybody's got something
I think
except me.
I actually brought something.
I'm the only one that's not going to. It's all in there,
Oh, okay.
Right.
but I've not got anything physical. I gave you my only physical one.
That's right. You gave me that one. Right. Well, you're the newbie, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Asterix. Yeah.
First ever Asterix book I have read. And there's this, and it's the first 3 stories.
You bought it for this?
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, Mike, before you go on. You've only got 3, right?
Yeah, this is the first
Usually
3.
you've not got like a mile-long list.
No, because I only bought these like a couple of weeks ago. But
Right, so
this
you've
one's
never,
like...
in occasion for this, you've never read Asterix?
No, but I'd wanted to. I'd always wanted to, but never got around to it. But this is the first 3. It's like the very first Asterix one. This is going back to the early 60s. Asterix the Gaul. So it's kind of a wee introduction to him, and you're seeing him fight the Romans, and you see Obelix, and then you hear all the names of the characters.
Get
Yeah.
I love Getafix.
Brilliant. Christmas bonus.
The bard, Cacophonics,
Cacophonics.
or
Cacophonics,
the chief vital statistics.
Yeah.
And some of the Romans have funny names as well. So do all the other enemies.
Yeah.
There's always these puns on the names.
Yeah.
And you quickly learn that Obelix has
Which is
permanent
right.
super strength because when he was a kid, he was dropped into the magic potion. See, the Gauls and Asterix in these stories get their powers from this potion made by the Druids. Get a fix. So it's temporary though. It's temporary. It doesn't last for that long. But with Obelix, it's permanent.
So what did you think then?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. The second one was Asterix and the Golden Sickle. And then the other one in this is Asterix and the Goth. There's some characters who are kind of based on real life. The most obvious one is Julius Caesar. I always thought that Asterix himself was based on Vercingetorix, who was a famous Gaul who gave Julius Caesar in real life the most insane battles. He was the most persistent foe until he was either captured or he had to give up. I'm not sure which, but Vercingetorix is actually mentioned in this a few times. In real life, Vercingetorix was killed in prison by drunken Roman soldiers when they got completely out of control.
Oh.
But Vercingetorix and Asterix are 2 different entities in the comics. So you'll hear characters saying "Long live Vercingetorix" when they're against the Romans.
Yeah.
But the Romans are portrayed in humorous ways, so they're like guys
Yeah,
doing
like
their
the
work.
idiots a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
but they're just guys that are there to do their job, and
Yeah.
that's it. There's very few of them are malicious. You get some centurions that are, and you'll get like the Caesars. I'm saying Julius Caesar can be a bit of the scheming side, but
There probably weren't any fat centurions at the time, right? But
Yeah.
often there are some fat centurions,
Yeah.
and they remind me of like donut eating police officers, don't they, from like American cop shows?
There's a bit in. I was rereading one in Becoming. They're like, it's Asterix and Obelix and the Roman guys saying like, it was those 2 fat guys over there. And Obelix is like, you know, everybody just gets punched immediately in Asterix. It's brilliant. They all get battered senseless, And Obelix like punch, and he's going, there aren't 2 fat guys, just one, and he's not fat.
there was a bit in there when
It's not fat, you know, it's like a sunken chest.
Yes.
That's all.
in Asterix and the Gaul,
Yeah.
in the Asterix and the Goths. Asterix and Obelix, they're trying to get into Roman outfits. So Obelix is like, yeah, you'll get a small suit and I'll get a medium one. This was
The violence is great, isn't it?
oh, it's lovely.
It's Crash Band Wallop.
This one here was the first actual cartoon film I watched, and it's the other main sort of historic character who actually lived, but probably didn't look too much like this. Was Asterix and Cleopatra. She actually behaves like what she's supposed to. Extremely angry, very aggressive, and for the very first page, she's smashing stuff in anger because she's going to have trouble with this bet she's had with Julius Caesar to build an enormous monument in time to prove that the Egyptians are still a superpower. There's a lot of things in the film which appeared that weren't in the comic, and it's probably vice versa as well. But I really,
Probably had to
like
add
this
some
one.
stuff to the film, didn't they, to make it...
Like what they
to
do with
extend it
Dragon
a
Ball
bit.
when they have fights that end up being quite a few hours, so they could fill up space in the TV series and filler episodes.
I don't think I've ever
But
watched any Asterix cartoons.
I'll hold this in this direction so Tom can't see the title. This is the one I haven't read.
Oh,
Is that the latest one?
No, this is a bizarre one. This is Asterix in Britain
Is that
and
in
the
Scottish?
British.
Is
No,
that-
it's British. It's
Oh,
really
is that
close
the one
to
that
it.
they used to be called Asterix in Britain? Or
Yeah.
Asterix and the
Yeah.
Britons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's in
and
here,
this is
Asterix in Britain.
Why have
Yeah.
they changed it?
The reason why is because they done it in Scots.
so
So when you have a look, it's like
Right.
reading Our Willie or the
oh,
Bruins,
is that one?
I see.
and
No,
you'll
no,
see.
no, it's Scots.
Get the first page. You'll see the difference straight away.
Well, yeah. But,
Even the introduction.
I've got that, but in English,
That's
yeah.
Asterix and the Picts.
And the facts.
Well, the introduction, even that is written in Scots.
They hold them.
See?
that's interesting
But-
because there is a Scottish character in here.
Asterix
and
and
he does have a
Obelix.
not bad
Oh,
accent.
their adventures. A sharp-witted Gaul wee fechter. The most dangerous missions are I gain to him. Asterix gets his superhuman smedum for the magic potion wrought by the warlock.
It's great how they...
Because
Because obviously, is that French?
Cancel
Were they written in
Netflix.
French first?
Yeah,
French,
but
yeah.
translated in English, so they would have read the English version
Yeah,
first.
but
And
I like it when they're able to even translate names that work.
Yeah.
Because that's really tough
yeah.
to do that. Because they
Was
must
it
have written it in a way in
get
French
effects and all
that
that.
was...
Anthea Bell.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Is that...
She was the translator, and she's like half the reason they're so good in British.
Oh, right.
Because she comes up with a lot of good jokes and everything.
She just died.
Yeah, translated by Anthea Bell
Oh.
and Derek Hawkridge.
Yeah.
Because she gets a lot of credit
But
for
that's
them being good
that
in English.
that's the merit has to go to all the translators
Yeah.
in the different countries in the world that have been doing the translation of the adventures of Asterix. Because in Spain as well, some of the names are different. So Asterix is Asterix, and Obelix is Obelix.
Alright.
But GetFX is Panoramics.
Right. Yeah.
Vital Statistics is Assurance Turix, which is something regarding like insurance company, you know. So there are different names. So for
Yeah,
example,
that's
the character from Asterix in Corsica, which is Bonnie was a warrior way Ajax, in Spain keeps the same name as in France, which is O Catarineta Bella Chichi, which is a homage to some songs, or the title of some songs from a Corsican singer from the 60s and the 70s.
Oh, right.
O Marinella, which is one of the songs, and they say O Catarineta. But yeah, the question about the translation, I mean, the merit is incredible for these guys to translate all the jokes, all the names.
When I was young, I didn't understand why
All the play
cacophonous
with
was funny,
words.
'cause I didn't know the word cacophony. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't get the joke with him, but...
yeah, but
Mind you, I didn't get the joke with Get a Fix, 'cause I
Nobody-
didn't know what getting a fix
No.
was.
nobody likes him though. He's always beaten up when he
Yeah.
tries to play a tune, a well-wishing tune.
I was lucky we had... My primary school, pretty much had nearly a full complement of the Asterixes that were available then. There were like these fabled ones that no one had ever read before, that were 2 or 3 that were maybe like rare, which was probably bullshit school ground talk, but it was never a complete set that we had.
So it's kind of
It's just funny seeing it read in Scots.
The
The damn what?
what?
The damn what? And then him running up the ladder.
Cauldron.
No!
I remember reading that word.
Oh, aye, it does. That's brilliant. That's good. I don't like that it says Sassenach, but It's funny.
Yeah,
Barrel
there's
scalp.
there's more than when I were a kid, definitely now.
Jings.
Yeah, Asterix and the Cauldron, it's called, yeah.
We are never
I think one thing that struck me reading it at school, or like taking it home and stuff, was
just brilliant.
all the detail in it,
Yeah.
in the panels.
The
Shots
drawings
from
are
above, like that.
Yeah.
Shots from above looking down of the village.
God, I can't even read that.
You know, the fish guy in
the
one
comment.
place with his wife and... What's Pecked?
Picked.
The pick.
Oh, the Picked.
Yes, the pick. Oh yeah, the picked. Yeah, sorry.
Picked.
the picked.
That's probably the latest one I
Picked,
read. I got it
interesting.
bought from, but when did it come out? 2-3 years ago?
A few years ago, that one.
Yeah.
I was just reading
I
this
think
today.
Scott.
In the-
Picked.
That was the last one I read by him.
You know.
Is that a mini poster
Picked.
it's got?
Picked.
No, it's a postcard.
Picked was just picked regardless. Yeah.
It's just a postcard I picked up and used as a bookmark. And then,
You picked up.
Yeah, although that's
Hey.
the latest one I've read and I quite enjoyed it, I've just...
Like that.
And I can't recall any other stories
it's got the Beatles in it.
when I was young. I just know I've got warm feelings from reading it and liking it and going, oh, no, I'd love it if I read it again.
Don Quixote's in one of them in Spain.
Really?
That film's coming soon. That film's coming soon.
Yep.
Not that I'll go and see it, but it's coming.
No, you won't.
No.
I probably won't.
It is
Yeah,
fantastic. It is just fantastic.
You know, there's a few Asterix
Oh,
films,
that one
live
gets
action
I
ones.
remember.
Has this fancy that he come back in
Yes. Because
Name it, I'll wipe his tail.
Yeah.
People will rub my
That's a-
eyes.
That's a good reason
Smack
to
at
go
these.
see it.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll think we're superstitious ducksters.
How can you read that?
Oh,
How can you read it? I don't
Yeah.
know how you do it. No, I can't read it.
That was
I had
that
to
was
get it
one
in
of
My
the-
wife has
three
Some
in
of
it.
them don't
My
get me
wife, she's very good
I
at
thought that about 20 years ago.
Oh, does she
That's
like
why I'm a
that?
bit confused.
No, no, no.
Oh.
Some
See,
of
the
them
running
ones
one
I
is different
struggle
from
with.
mine
Some
than
of them,
your
yeah.
one.
Some of them because it's Scots. It's not. It's not even like it's localized really in one
No.
place. It's very. Do you know what I would say? It's more sort of northern speak. It sounds like sort of Aberdeen, and
But sometimes they put words that they're not.
yeah, they're old Scots.
Yeah, this is just. But when there's a word I don't know, I just have my wife. How do you say this? And she goes, ooh,
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah.
tough one. And then I used to think about it. Oh yeah, that's what it means. That's what
So
it
then it
is.
goes.
And then she's,
It's four.
it's mare.
It's mare. There's four of them. What? There's a few. There's
Ah!
there's 3 or 4.
There's more than one. There's more than one. Yeah.
More than one. There's four. All of that.
Oh. I'm gonna have to read some just from reading some panels.
Oh,
He
look.
just started slapping the book out Rose Centurion.
Yeah.
They come across, he's like, leave this to me. Well, are you going to answer? You going to answer? Stop it, Obelix, let go of him. How do you expect him to answer before we've asked him anything? He slapped the fuck out of him. He's on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I liked Asterix, and I think maybe when I came across Gru, I liked it because I think I liked Asterix. And I think I kind of related them in a funny kind of way.
Writing.
With the
Interesting.
details as well, yeah, that's
Tiny.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't read
It's
yeah.
pages like that.
Yeah.
Really tiny.
Because I love seeing the detail of their work. These are some of the guys that were often on that Tick or Tack programme, isn't it?
Oh wow.
The
Uderso,
Oh, the Tack or Tack,
they were there.
Tack or
Tack or
Tack
Tack.
program,
Yeah, they
yeah.
appear in a couple of the programs. Yeah.
I remember this being a good title, even though I don't remember what happens in it. I remember Asterix in Belgium. Yeah, what a great story that was. Have you got that Asterix in Belgium? No? Yeah. Can you recall any stories?
I remember some of them. I mean, I have the whole collection at my mom's house.
I was like
Oh,
that.
have you got the entire collection?
I
I
was
mean,
like
all
that.
all the ones
In the
made
middle.
by
It's like a
Goscinny and
leaflet for-
Uderso. I have all those ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never seen it.
But like,
Haven't had a chance to
like,
play
I
the
don't think
Roman.
these used
But I
to-
remember
I
these-
don't think this happened in
This
these.
is one of my favorites.
Because they're telling them like where they're going to live.
Corsica.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want to go to the match?
Just the-
You know, it's like a brochure. You know what I mean?
The
It's
depiction
like,
and
yeah,
the stress in
like
Britain.
that.
That's what I did like.
So good.
That's the big fight, isn't it?
Asterix and the Big Fight. That was my favourite. That was the only one I had as a kid,
Fight.
and it was just tremendous.
Sounds good.
Loved it.
And
do
did
you know
that
what's
not
funny?
make you want more? Were they really? Actually,
To
they were
me, it
probably
was.
quite
This was like a
expensive
birthday
books.
present. I went
Yeah.
and bought this. Yeah.
They were quite
£1.50,
expensive books.
by the way. £1.50. I mean, come on.
But
In my
then
memory,
that
it was like £8 or something, which it probably was about £8 at the time. £1.50.
yeah, if consider how much a comic was.
Yeah, like
Probably
12 pence or something. Yeah, this was a definite birthday treat. I'm gonna try this, and I loved it.
because it was more a W.H. Smith, the big W.H. Smith outlet kind of thing, or bookshop, wasn't it?
I was feeling kind of jealous of your story about your primary school having all the Asterix books.
Yeah,
And I
we
thought,
were lucky
never
in
had
that,
that. If
mate.
we'd
We were
had that, I
lucky.
would have read all of them. Yeah, because I loved this one.
And we didn't have many Tintins, and that twist of fate meant that
Yeah,
I was an Asterix boy
right.
rather than a
right.
Tintin boy,
I just loved
That's
him
another
throwing
one that's
around.
a
You know
bit
the
kind
big.
Oasis rather than Blur.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I was in Manchester at the time, and there were Manx.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read. I'm gonna have to reread. Oh, Unhygienics, of course.
Unhygienics.
Yeah.
The fishmonger. Semi-automatics is the ironmonger.
There was gin and tonics.
Yeah, gin and tonics. Yeah, gin and
Oh,
tonics.
really?
That's
What?
high.
Is that about? Is there a saloon or a
In
bar?
Europe,
Or?
yeah,
There's one guy,
that's
gin and tonics. There's
Yeah.
fully automatics. There's all these kind of names that bring it out.
long live Victor
Rockabye
statistics.
Pepe on the treetop. It's called Pepe.
Pepe.
And that pure
Obviously.
musician-
This is gonna be called Pepe. What do you think? It's España, hombre. Ole.
Yeah, you see Muffy
Hey, you
frustrated
forgot
most
your
of the time.
fish. I'm sick of this fish!
And now they've got him suspended from a tree.
Yeah, at the end of that one.
Oh, so that's
That's it.
what got bought for me in English for us Southerners. Because the missing I wouldn't be able to read it in Scots.
This one you need to read because this is about
Corsica,
and
remember?
it's constantly.
What if I've got Corsica? Yeah, I've got it.
You got it's a brilliant one. So read it again.
This is an old one though. Yeah, look, my pages are coming out.
Oh, Corsica, sorry.
That's been well loved, that one.
When he says, when he has the guy, the Corsican guy, and say,
What's a big
you can go, you're free.
Asterix
I say
and
you can
A
go.
LOT.
Listen, where are you go? You're free, you can go. After my siesta. What do you mean after your siesta? It's getting late, Roman. If I don't have my siesta now, I shan't have time to have it before bedtime. So leave me alone or I might lose my temper.
Lovely.
And then, look at you, you're not going to escape. The guy, the mental is going crazy. It's just hilarious. I start to... And then I say, who are you? You're not Roman. Certainly no.
Yeah.
I am exiled prisoner, sleeping overnight in this camp. I don't know. What is it? And of course that picked me up and said, "It's a prisoner. Okay, what's your name?" My name is Bonnie was a warrior way Ajax, and I come from Corsica. I said, "What's Corsica?" And he goes, "Corsica is the Romans' bugbear. Get a fatty." And Obelix goes, "I'm not fat, and I'm the Romans' bugbear too." And he goes, "You're touchy. I like you." And it just, honestly, it's just the constant.
I'll tell you what though, what a marriage of great, they were one of them pairs, weren't they? Great storytelling and hard work to die for.
The jokes, the art, because the art
When they ate that wild boar, they made me hungry. The chickens.
because they are so. The first 2-3 episodes, especially if you look at the art of Asterix the Gold and the Golden Sequel, the first 2-3 episodes, it's not quite what you are familiar with. And then I picked up from the book 4 or 5, and the art it just goes. Sean Connery.
Yeah, who
006.
was it not
Secret
like
Agent.
Sean Connery it is.
006
films.
Oh yeah.
006.
That's
Secret
Sean
Agent.
Oh,
Sean Connery.
And the Beatles were in the.
Yeah, they did caricatures of.
Who is it that's in Mansion of the Gods? There's somebody in Mansion of the Gods.
Oh, there's a few of them.
Just after the middle insert with the brochure thing, there's somebody. But I can't tell who it is.
This guy?
Yeah.
You know, it could be a TV presenter from a program or something.
Right.
Because they used to put singers and it could be French singers or even TV presenters or actors of the time. But, could be from the 60s, 70s. and you would lose the. I mean, I recognize Sean Connery on that one,
yeah.
Dogmatics.
but yeah, it's
Another one.
there's some of them you kind of don't know. But there's online. There's a couple of websites. They do all the references
Right,
of all
okay.
the books, and there's some of them are so obscure, but there's many of them.
They're in this forest and the Obelix is going, by Jupiter, this place is swarming with pigs. And then the next panel you see him carrying about 8 balls that he's captured, ready to be. Potato gnocchis.
Yeah, potato gnocchis. No, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Potato gnocchis.
The semolina gnocchis.
Semolina gnocchi. There's all of them. There's all the pasta. Look at that.
Lasagnics.
Is that what it
Potato
is?
gnocchi. Raviolix, spaghettics, cannelloni, tagliatelle.
You remember that?
Marsupilami.
Yeah. Is it the same creators?
No.
No. Is that just a wee homage?
These are the same people that I bought some of them books after you guys mentioned them because I've not read them yet. But these are the same creators as what is it? Boob, Itcher what? Itchagoo, Itchagoo,
It's
Itchabob.
no good.
It's no
No,
good.
it's no good.
Yeah.
No.
I got this. Isn't it not?
Similar style.
It's no good is Goscinny is the writer and
Same writer, yeah.
the artist is
The artist. It looks the same. It looks nearly the same.
They're very similar.
always the artist who also and the writer is different.
It's one of the two. But I got this
Oh,
from
come
that
back to me.
bookshop in Stopwell before it closed. This and
That
that.
was weird.
It's
Yeah.
the goods, like 20 pence is no good. 2 or 3 of them, and this was about £1. Not ready yet, but 6 adventures, including the 12 tasks of Asterix and Obelix
6
and
and a
Coke. First time in
That's
omnibus.
good.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I was pleased with 3 in a book.
Oh look, there's written stuff.
Yeah, because that's the
Oh, it's
the
got
adaptation
background
of
stuff.
the 12th. Because the 12th
Oh, is it one of
Task
them?
of Asterix is the adaptation of the film.
Yeah.
There was no a book before the film. They did the film
Just
and then they
strip that one
adapted.
Just strip that story out.
Yeah.
It's not real.
They do a good job that how they make them look conniving and like duplicitous.
Yeah.
The senators and the Romans and stuff. Look at that.
Wasn't Bill
Look at that,
Oddie
bro.
Asterix?
Pardon?
Some of the
Catch from
cartoons.
that face.
Yeah.
Was
Sure,
that
Bill
Some of the
Oddie.
old ones, yeah.
The goodies.
He was what?
Bill Oddie, I think he was Asterix.
In what?
In the
In
old
some of the
cartoons.
cartoons, he did the voice.
Oh, right.
Before,
Yeah,
before Craig
I never
Charles.
saw any of them, but I think
I've
he
got
did.
the clear
I
pattern
never-
one, but I've not
the-
seen it.
I
The
never saw any.
one, the one where he's doing the 12 tasks of Asterix, I think that's one of the...
I've seen a couple of his
Others
films
ones, I
but in
think.
Spanish.
Any good?
Years ago. Many years ago.
Oh.
The 12 tasks. I
Gerard
remember.
Depardieu.
No, the actual
it.
animation film.
He's Obelix. He's Obelix, though.
Yes, he is.
I've never seen the actual actor films.
Alright, no.
I've seen the animation films. That's of cartoons, but no, never.
Monica Bellucci as Cleopatra.
Oh, hello.
I think the other thing that caught my attention with him compared to anything else that I was reading at the time was shit, this is some involved thing that goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
It was like long format, no ads. This
Lots of detail.
I've actually got to come back to it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were
I
all
wanna
little
get a
details,
picture.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's always little details you can look again in the on the pages. Oh, look at that. I never do that little.
Made me want to draw.
Oh, it's just. Asterix the Champion, look at that.
Yeah. That was a little compendium I picked up about 20 years ago. Cheap.
Oh.
I thought that'll do. 3 of them. Yeah. Small format, but
Yeah,
quite
no.
neat. Quite neat.
Neat, yeah.
I'm getting in the mood for wanting to read more from our discussion here.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I've not read it enough. And they are really funny and good.
Yeah, they are.
It's funny, it makes me want to read Gru for some reason.
You'd said that.
Yeah.
It really does.
Be a good crossover.
Well, I've been.
Yeah.
I took.
It would.
Because I took this out from the library. And then, as I was saying today, I've been reading them and enjoying them. Remember the times I used to read it when I was a kid.
Mm.
And I've been passing them to my son, which has never been attracted to read Asterix.
Right.
Now he's read a couple of them the last few nights. He's just loving it. And
Oh,
I could hear him. I was downstairs, he was in his
Is he
room
laughing?
reading, and he was laughing out loud
Oh,
at the
yeah.
jokes. And
That's good, man.
One thing I always struggled with as a kid was if I came across words that I didn't know,
I mean,
like that. I was like, okay, I'll go with men.
Yeah.
Struggled. And I remember in lots of Marvel comics, there was that word they were fond of, which I never knew how to say, behemoth.
Oh yeah.
But as a kid,
They were.
what's that? Don't fuck me up with my reading, putting these words in. I want to enjoy this.
Yep.
Now you're putting this bastard word in, I don't know.
You were learning.
Yeah, I always said Behemoth for a long time.
and then Juggernaut.
Yeah. I was trying to think. There's one.
Hulk always had his metamorphoses.
Oh, Metamorphosis,
And
yeah.
you'd be in primary 5 talking about metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Teachers.
What?
The hell?
What? Don't get me wrong,
I'm always.
the new writer, Ferry and the artist Conrad, these two are doing a good
They
job.
do a good job.
Because the art is, I mean,
Yes.
it looks like it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing.
So is that the new?
Yes.
that's new, yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've already read through it now, but yeah, I'm always happy to see that two runs that seem to always seem to make it into British kids sections and libraries is always Asterix and Tintin. Still,
Yeah.
it's still the two
Yeah.
prevailing ones that still always make it, regardless of anything else that's there, any sort of Marvel minis or anything like that. There's always Asterix and Tintin.
These must be people that grew up reading Asterix.
Yeah.
Because that is amazing that
Yeah,
that is
dedicated.
Yeah.
him drawing.
I thought it was until you've just said
No,
that
it's
was
not,
that
that's
a
all.
newer one. That's
That's
mad.
Because most of the books, the classic ones, is Goscinny and Uderzo. Then Goscinny passed away, and then Uderzo did few of them at the end.
Mhm.
It was him doing everything, the script and the art. And then Uderzo stopped, and then he died, passed away. And then it took a wee while until the whole, because there was a wee bit of
Right,
Problem.
States,
Goscinny stayed, Uderzo stayed, and then there are Gaul, which is the publishers, and there was a lot of controversy. And eventually, they've done more Asterix. But it's a different writer and a different artist, but very, very respectful to the original art. The jokes, I feel, in this one, sometimes it's difficult because
It's just not as
I don't think there's the muscle yet
yeah.
Right.
It's,
to get in there. But they're good ones though, and
Yeah.
very enjoyable ones. And that one in particular, because we are in Scotland, that I always read around and I have a laugh.
It reads really well.
It reads well.
yeah.
So
Then read it in Scots.
That's the one.
That is in the Scots. That's in the Scots, yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the other one.
No, that's in the Scots.
Oh,
That one.
that's for the Englishman.
That's in the Scots.
Yeah, there's no way I could
No,
see.
you didn't. No,
It took. I mean,
I'd be better off. I'd be better off reading in Spanish. Than
it
that.
takes me time, but I get there.
Yeah, but
Loads of times. Yeah.
I need
time
to
I
work
don't want to be
out.
spending on that.
Don't bark at
I need to work out
No.
what they're saying. I need to work out what they're saying.
Understandable.
Techno Droid is a badass motherfucker in the Incal, isn't
Oh yes. Name call, yeah.
it? Is it Techno Droid or Necro Droid? Techno Droid.
Techno.
The red one that keeps changing and just smashes into. Techno Droid, I think. For me, that's new, the Incal.
So is that what you're reading?
What's going on,
Is that what
yeah?
you're reading just now, Income?
That and the Dilberts I'm finishing.
Are you still getting through them, yeah?
Yeah. Dilbert's a great toilet book. It's a nice length. You know, you can fit
Yeah.
1 in, 2 in, 3 in, depends.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Peace,
Come on,
tranquility,
you tell me
and
you don't read on bog.
I never read on that.
Never.
No,
I
it's
do.
not.
No,
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 sorry, I'm
actually.
not.
Are you
I'm
really
in and
against it?
out. I'm in and out.
Are you?
I'm more like, yeah, I need to go, and then I'll leave again. There's no time for
No.
sitting reading.
It's funny. It's the thing that
yeah. No, I'm with you on that one.
it's the thing that was said about Alan's Penguin books. That was one of the reviews he's got on one of the back of the books.
Toilet read.
Yeah, it says, what's it? Great for my downstairs toilet. So, he has that written on the back of one of his books, and the name of the guy that said it. But yeah, this is a big thing, right enough for folks like reading on the bog. But
Have you read the book when
I'm in and
I
out.
don't
I
want someone
can't,
too involved.
I can't sit.
the guy
Oh, we sitting on the
doing all the
toilet.
signs and trying to guess?
My dad used to do it. Hours at a time.
What's he saying?
Hours at a time. Used to
Are
do
you,
it.
are you waiting on it?
Yeah.
Well, do we want to get into this? I mean,
No,
okay,
yeah,
right, so
he's
are
in
you
the middle
waiting on
of
it
telling
coming and
his
it comes
story.
and you sit there with it in the toilet?
Well,
We
no, because it's not just.
we
Not everyone has healthy bowels like you, mate. That it's just
Or-
over and done with. I might have to sit there a little bit.
So, like, when it comes, that's time to finish. Is that right? Or no, because maybe you want to finish the chapter, so you sit there with your little friend.
Exactly, yeah. You give it a flush and you sit there and go, just in case.
You do flush it,
Just
okay.
in case.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. My dad went, don't be sitting there.
It's
with
just
the
an alien
stinking
world.
shite."
Funny,
Yeah,
Flush it.
oh, okay.
When I was a kid, I used to do that, but now I think it's a hygiene thing. I wouldn't want to read the books after knowing I sat in the bog.
Well, I don't know.
No.
It's-
What? For the no initiated, let's
Yeah,
explain
okay,
it.
yeah.
So you get your favorite book because you know something is happening. You go. There's a quiet moment, so you go time. You go your 5 minutes, perhaps 10. Let's
Depends,
sit
yeah.
down, get something that you enjoy, and you get your book, and you just read.
And you let
And
it
when
happen.
and then when nature happens,
Yeah.
then right happens. You leave the book aside in a safe place.
You're an adult. You've been doing it for years. You know what you're doing.
You do what you need to do.
Yeah,
You clean what you need to clean. You wash your hands.
yeah.
You don't, obviously, you flush, etc., and then you take your book out, and then you go.
Okay.
That's the progress. That's
And then you're 1 or 2 pages better off.
and suddenly you sit down in the most comfy sofa and you go, "Oh, that was a good one."
When you put it like that, it actually sounds quite civilised.
Well, that's what you
Make
need.
it, you make it sound exotic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it was a warm country and I had a vista, it would be exotic.
And
I'd be sitting there more
maidens
frequent,
to
more
wipe
often.
the behind.
Yeah. The groom of the stool.
I discovered where the term necking it comes from. Before they made toilet paper, some people used to use goosenecks.
Thanks.
And they would,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Necking it? I've never heard that.
I've heard that. I read it on Viz with the piss take of Ming the Merciless, who happened to stink a lot. And they'd be like, oh, watch it, he's pure necking turds.
That makes it sound like he's drinking them.
Yeah, necking for
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Necking so.
Probably
But-
connected in some
What they
way.
used to do with goosenecks, did they?
They used to use things like wood, sand, pebbles, soil, flower leaves, tree leaves. Toilet roll, when it was invented, used to have
Sponge on a stick.
vinegar soaked sponge for the Romans. And there was toilet roll that had splinters on it up until 1935.
Splinters.
Yeah, people used to get it. 1935 they started to sell splinter-free toilet roll.
I'm sure at my primary school the bog roll was like, it was virgin on tracing paper.
Yeah.
It was that kind of, the kind of paper you'd put on tables now
Yeah.
for like if you're doing artwork.
No,
No, and it ripped you to shreds.
It's like Freddy Krueger trying to use toilet roll.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger
Edward
doing it to you.
Scissorhands.
Yeah.
What a complete change of conversation that bit was.
Oh my. Well, I make you cry, I make you laugh, I don't know.
Yeah, actually.
you know the next
You
one,
don't
don't
see
you?
the stuff.
No.
You don't.
Actually
It's like
sells
you'll
them,
laugh, you'll cry, you'll
outside,
shit your pants.
Well, you know what the toilet is. You go
That's a line between.
It's his own stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. really
Next
make
time, wear
it
brown
sells
trousers.
Oh, poop aside. What? Is there anything you've been reading?
What was in your water?
What have you been reading on the toilet this
Yeah,
week?
what have you been reading on the?
I've been reading Asterix the last few days, and
Yeah.
and I still reading the Black Panther. You know, a big massive.
Mm.
I'm still going through that.
Yeah.
But after that, I haven't been. No,
Do you set aside time every night to read?
I try, but there's the last few nights I haven't been able to do very much, to be honest. So, but yeah, cool. Black Panther. I'm in the Jack Kirby era just now. Cool stuff. And
Was it the
Asterix.
frogs?
Yes.
Solomon's frogs.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Solomon's frogs.
King Solomon's frogs.
Ah, okay.
Golden frog. Yeah.
Mad.
Mental.
Absolutely insane. How does he think?
Mental. It's you think it's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it's
It's so good.
but you want to read it.
Yeah. You want to know?
Because it goes, what the heck are you talking about, man? And you go, but you're enthralled by it. You could just go, this is amazing. This is great. The art is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's Kirby all over. It's
Yeah.
just, but yes, about golden frogs that King Solomon had that has some sort of special powers that would allow you to travel in time. Oh yeah!
Jeez.
Never
Yeah.
got in a film.
So make a film of that.
Fucking hell.
Wacky, but really good.
I remember
Yeah.
years ago
Wacky's
reading
another
the is it the
Like
Dan
that.
Haggard novel, and never once did I read anything about golden frogs. What's this one, frogs? That sounds like it's something I
Black
need
Panther.
to read. Oh, Black Panther.
Jack Kirby's Black Panther.
It's brilliant, man.
I need to catch up on Black Panther. I've only read bits where he's been with Captain America. I need to read his solo stuff.
Well, that you know that big massive brick that I brought. That's all the Don McGregor. Well, that's a way to describe it because it's like.
Yeah.
But that's all the Don McGregor Black Panther, and then after that you get all the Jack Kirby Black Panther. Very different styles in art and also in stories, but
They're both good, though.
they're both good. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you had to pick one of them, it's not even a question to me.
I go for the King.
Yes, correct. You have got 10 out of 10 there.
I go for the King.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Man, it's difficult, but yeah, if I had to choose just one, only one,
Just one.
yeah.
Which
it has to be
which
that
half
one.
of the book are you ripping
Has to
off
be the King.
and throwing away?
The other one, yeah, has to be.
That's it.
Reading anything?
Yeah, I've been reading Isaac Asimov.
Wow!
You know the Foundation books.
Yes.
I read the first one.
Is it science fiction, right?
Yeah, science fiction. It's about the 50s.
From this. Oh, I've got tons of them, I think.
But he was a scientist as well.
In fact, it's in my book.
Oh, is that him? That's him off.
Yeah.
I didn't realise he'd written that.
In fact, I got to within
I've written
5
full
pages
lots.
at the end today, and I really wanted to keep going, but my break was up, and I was trying to
It's
speak.
nice if a book gets you like that.
Oh yeah. So I'm
fiction.
just so close to the end, and then Foundation and Empire, the second volume. You know, the third volume's called Second Foundation. The first book's called Foundation, so I kind of thought Second Foundation was the second book, but no, this is the second book. It's full of Star Wars stuff, man. It's ridiculous.
Is that because it's working its way up?
It's just
What do you mean? Star Wars.
It's just in
Pull
terms
stuff
of
from
the
there.
story, yeah.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. In terms of the story, there's a foundation part of the universe, and then there's a second foundation bit on the other side of the universe, and then. But it's all about the Empire, and there's a planet in it that's like just one big city, and there's an emperor. And as I'm reading it, it's like unreal. I mean, Captain Han, somebody or other, just turned up the other day. And you know, it's just it's ridiculous.
No, I just took all the stuff from it.
It's very influenced. You know?
Yeah,
You must have read this, and it's, it's sunk in. You know?
Lightsabers? Weapons of some
No
sort?
lightsabers, but they go on about the probes and everything.
Ah.
They could put the probes in to read their mind and all
Well,
that.
the lightsaber came from the Japanese Kira Kurosawa
That's right.
film where they
Yeah.
used the swords.
I think he was really influenced by a lot of things.
Yeah, he was influenced very much by that.
Caldwell.
But really, really
Sorry?
good.
Footballer.
And
So
also-
I've been reading this in my
I had to throw it away. It reminds me
in
of
the
that.
morning break. And then at lunchtime I've been reading up on the Asterix, so it's been great. But you didn't want to go back to work. You get involved. But there you go.
Very good.
So that's I recommend that if you fancy it.
Isaac Asimov.
Foundation and Empire.
Nice.
Very good.
It's good.
And Asterix.
And Asterix.
Yeah, brilliant.
Reading anything just there?
Well, apart from Asterix, I bought a book called Science-ish. It's got two authors. It's I forget the name of the authors, but it'll be easy. It's a recent book, and I've just been reading bits and pieces because they've chose 10 films. One's like Jurassic Park, the one with Matt Damon when he went to Mars, Planet of the Apes.
Martian.
You don't like it?
Matt Damon.
Oh no, the film I meant, not Matt Damon.
The Martian.
The film. The
I
Martian.
saw it because Matt Damon's in it.
Oh, that's good.
What was the film? Did you talk about this film last time? Or was that...
The Martian.
Yeah. No, you talked about someone else.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yes, okay. Similar? No.
No.
Not really.
No way.
Okay.
No, completely different.
All right.
But Interstellar
really-
is really good.
The Martian's a Ridley Scott,
Yeah, I know.
but totally not as usual.
I should try
Alien
that.
is one of the films that's there's a chapter on. There's Gattaca, there's Back to the Future, Matrix,
Science-ish.
all these film franchises that each chapter talks about the actual science behind it, and Jurassic Park as well gets it. So these 10 major science fiction movies. Well, it's a very interesting book, and I'll maybe bring it along, or I can email you or I'll WhatsApp you the name of the authors.
Science-ish.
Yeah.
That's right. I should be able to find
They
that.
got it in Watterson's. It's got, oddly enough, it's got a chimp wearing a space helmet on the cover.
Oh
Have you
dear.
done what you're reading?
Oh no, never.
What are you reading?
What are you reading, Tom? Tom, can you tell us what are you reading?
I'm finding it hard to
Tom's
get
always
time.
reading.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to get time to read stuff at the minute. So I'm kind of reading stuff just as I'm going to bed, or I'm kind of just finding it hard. Yeah, and then falling asleep. Kind of just finding it hard to concentrate at the minute on books more than anything. Not that there's anything wrong with the books. I'm really getting into them, but I just can't stay concentrated enough. But one that did actually keep my concentration for 2 issues was Captain Cosmic. I found this on found this on that Comic House app. And it's by a guy called Andy W. Clift. And it's just like, it's kind of just like Silver Age
Oh yeah, it's like
sci-fi
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
Keith Giffen.
but it's really nice style.
Oh yeah,
Very interesting.
nice colours, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very colourful.
I think it's really nice. It looks kind of like Space Ghost.
Hanna-Barbera,
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
Hanna-Barbera.
going to say that is Hanna-Barbera's Space
Really
Ghost.
good
That's
colour,
so much-
really good art, but the story's it's just simple. Like this space age hero comes into a problem, he gets to solve a problem, he gets rid of the evil doer, and that's it. You know, there's no complication to it. The guy says at the very start, Andy W. Cliff says at the very start, he's a big fan of Silver Age comics, where it was just a case of, you know, they were faced with a kind of villain of the week, and then they defeated that villain and moved on, sort of thing. He's like, there's too much complexity these days.
There you
It's
go.
just, it needs to be a simple.
Straightforward.
Yeah, and actually,
Too much crossovers rather than complexity.
yeah, whereas like I just look at that.
That's good.
Nice.
It's like Captain
So
Marvel in
eerie.
the
It's
70s.
Very
Yeah.
campy, isn't it?
It's really nice though. So yeah, so they really hooked me. The second issue was
Is that what you're reading on most of the time?
no, I've got a tablet upstairs, so it's a bit
right.
bigger. So, but yeah, the second one is all like these head creatures that
Starro.
take over them. Yeah,
It's got the DC checkerboard thing
checkerboard
along the
bar.
top.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the same kind of.
Yeah.
It's Frontier Comics, but it's FC. And
Yeah.
it's good.
It's a nice homage.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
really like it. But it's dead simple. There's no like, you know, there's no bad language. There's no like underlying like really sort of subverted subtext or anything like that. It's just a
Should we
simple.
be reading it if there's no bad language?
It's just a simple,
Boring.
straightforward story. But they kept like that. It's because I'm finding it hard to concentrate. When something does actually keep my concentration for that long,
Right.
it's
That looks
especially
good.
one after
It does,
another
yeah.
as well. You know what I mean?
It's nice for the toilet.
Nice one.
There was something else that I read.
Give it a go. Give it a try next time, lads.
Oh,
You never know.
Well, you know, I mean,
You'll be like, shit, I've been missing out 40 fucking years.
could be making more of an event of this.
I read. We got sent through. Lucy Sullivan finally got her.
Barking.
She got a Barkin printed
yeah,
up.
Barkin,
For the one that we got sent.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, she got it printed up
yeah.
into an actual
Nice
book
cover,
if
yeah.
anybody
Nice.
would like to actually read a
I like
physical
that cover.
copy. Aside from that, it was the Awesome Comics issue 3 I got sent through.
Number 3 now.
Yeah, I bought that as soon as it came out. Do you know what, their stories are really coming together really well.
I didn't quite
I
click.
ask for-
That's Tarlaz. That's original on there.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Is it? Yeah, that's not part of the comic.
No,
that's
it's not.
That's
That's drawn
on.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Look at
That's
that. That is
very
a
nicely
nice
done,
read.
isn't it?
That is a nice touch.
I never,
was,
I never noticed it first.
She was very happy that we'd reviewed it.
That's good. Yeah.
To what's it say? To Tom. Oh, to Tom.
TCS pod.
Thanks for the.
Yes, I think we all liked it.
But yeah, do you know what? I'm really interested to see where this goes as well.
That's
And
good.
have the all 4. And Barkin's just phenomenal. I can't wait till that actually comes out as the full book. She's doing the funding through Unbound, which is kind of like a slow-paced Kickstarter. It's a publisher, but they kind of just they put up the campaign and then it's up to you whether you buy the book, kind of thing, and then it just slowly builds up until it's met its kind of target goal. But it just takes a while to get there because you've got to kind of raise awareness and whatnot.
Right.
And it is a case of you're just buying the book. There is different tiers, but it's not like a Kickstarter where you fund so much or whatever and you get this kind of thing. You do, but they're always more expensive because it's always usually like proper big books, you know what I mean? So they're always like £10 and above and stuff like that.
Gentlemen.
See, that one's good.
Here he goes.
Perfect, Nando.
Hasta luego.
Well done, Nando.
See you.
I liked your bit that you wrote, man.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Just a wee thing.
Well done.
Try.
See you later.
Oh, shit, it's bedtime for me. I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
To send us any comments or questions or just to say hello, you can reach us by email at thatcomicsmell@gmail.com. We're also available on Instagram and Twitter at thatcomicsmell. Share the podcast with your friends and followers. We're available on YouTube, SoundCloud and iTunes. And don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Our music is by Chart Smasher, aka John Adam. You can find John on Twitter at JohnEdam and you can buy the track Dial Up on Bandcamp.